Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple-Eyed Doofus, and welcome back to Bad Unicorn by Platt F. Clark. Today we're covering chapters 23, 24, 25, and 26. I hope you've read up to that point because I do not want to ruin anything for you. Our section starts with Max practicing his fireballs, generally struggling with that. And Sarah noticing that he's struggling, so she takes him on a trip, and they go to meet with Sinead, the robot that Max first met with all the spiders. That's Sinead. Sinead knows Max because of their previous encounter, and she also knows that Max and his friends are about to be in a fight with Princess the Unicorn, or in this time, Princess the Robocorn. And Sinead wants to do anything that she can to help. So she lets Max know that it's not just Princess that he's going to have to fight. He's going to have to fight 3 different robots before he gets to Princess the Robocorn. And Max just crumbles under that news. Sinead says, "Relax. These are robots that you're fighting against. You have magic. You are a wizard. You can do this. Trust me." And it kind of lifts Max's spirits up. Before they leave, Sinead says, "I was built here and kept at this pizzeria here. Maybe by the time you go back to your own time, you can come by and visit me. I might let you in, but then again, I might just not." Sarah takes Max back to the Frobbits area, and she says, "You better get some rest." And Max says, "Okay, I will." Only Max just stays up all night reading under the fairy light. The next chapter has Max and Sarah catching up with Dirk, who has named himself the Great Dirkster. Again, not kidding. And he is trying to gather up an army of Frobbits. He is gathering up medics, he is gathering up muscle, he is just doing what he can to gather up people that can help him succeed. But he's doing it in probably the most offensive way ever, like completely negating any of the beliefs of the Frobbits and saying that he is kind of like their god and that they should always protect him. There's even one scene where he's like, "See, like a goblin is like really hurt, but I'm really hurt too. Who do you help?" "You, sir. You. We help you. We help you." No! We find that our friends have been dilly-dallying enough, and they've wasted so much time that it's the night before the fight. Dirk has Max and Sarah give motivational speeches, but not before he gives his. And it's completely nonsensical. He's talking about, "May our enemies' batteries be dead and codes be wiped from their universal remote controls." And I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm glad that Sarah and Max are doing the same. Max tries and goes up to tell his speech, but it's just, Max is a nervous fellow. He doesn't know how to give motivational speeches. And so Sarah steps in before he embarrasses himself too much, and she's like, "Attention, you, platoon, go over there! You, platoon, go over there!" And she starts kind of like commanding the audience. Near the end of the chapter, we have Max kind of sitting there, and Sarah kisses him on the cheek for luck. It's like, "Oh, thank you." And Dwight kind of walks up and he says, "Don't think that was for you. No, she kissed everyone on the cheek. Don't think that you're special. That was just so that everyone had luck." And then Dirk walks by and he's like, "I don't need luck." Oh my god, this book is hilarious. The one thing that I'm missing right now is Reservoir. I want more Reservoir, and we haven't seen him in almost 100 pages, and he's not in the next 2 chapters either. It's really sad. I kind of want to do his voice again. Okay, I feel better. The next chapter, it takes place on Earth in present day, and Ricky has Princess and Magar going through the closets of his parents looking for some normal clothes after they had walked through the portal looking like they came out of a costume party. They get their clothes and they're sitting in the kitchen and they're discussing the Codex of Infinite Knowability. And Ricky's like, "Hey, I know about a codex. I know about someone who's talking about a codex." Princess and Magar are like, "Really? Who? And how much is it worth to you?" And they give him another gold coin. "Oh yeah, my friend Ricky has one, but he is one of the 3 kids that disappeared just before you appeared. Maybe you're making me a little bit nervous right now." He's holding it? He's not just holding it, he's reading it. He's reading the codex? that means he's an heir. That means we must collect him. And as they're discussing this, a detective just kind of walks into the kitchen. Shouldn't he have knocked on the front door to get into the house in the first place? The detective's name is Detective Jones, and he is kind of stalking Ricky because everyone believes that the disappearance of Max, Sarah, and Dirk is because Ricky did something. The detective walks in and he starts talking to Ricky, and Princess is like, I don't like you. So she pulls out her unicorn horn, uses it against him, and pushes him up against the wall, knocking him out. Magar is like, we shouldn't be using magic here. Ricky starts kicking Detective Jones in the ribs while he's down. And Princess sees this and she says, I like you. I think you should be mine. I'm going to own you right about now. Own me? Yes, you are going to be mine. I will take you wherever you want to go. And Ricky loves this idea because he's been wanting to get out of this small little city for so long. Princess tries to use the Gilman to find the Codex and Max, but the Gilman won't work, and the Gilman doesn't see them anywhere on Earth. And she turns to Magar and says, he must be in the Meoshire. We must go there. Ricky says, take me with you! And she says, of course I'm taking you with me! And she opens up a portal with her wand, and they step through into the Meoshire. The Meoshire is a land that is between Earth and the fantasy realm where Princess comes from. She starts talking with an orc almost immediately who eyes Ricky and says, I want him. I want him to be mine. I'll trade you many riches for that boy there. She starts negotiating with him. Ricky's like, hey, I'm not some kind of dog. And Princess doesn't really listen to Ricky. I have these fairies. I eat fairies for breakfast. Well, what about this knife? If you stab someone with it, they'll give you all their passcodes and stuff. And Ricky's like, hey, I'll take that. And the orc says, I'm trying to buy you. Why would I give it to you? So he gets a little bit more turned down. And I have this amulet. It's supposed to bring out your true form. I don't want a stupid amulet, but I don't really like this Ricky guy anymore anyways, so, just keep on trying to send me stuff, sell me stuff. And Ricky is getting really despondent because he doesn't want to be sold. He actually reaches over, grabs Princess's horn, shoves her out of the way, points the horn at the orc and says, give me the knife. Whoa. Okay. You want the knife? You got the knife. Ricky takes it, puts it in his pocket, and he says, give me the amulet. Whoa. Okay. Here's the amulet. Just put that thing down, please. And Ricky takes the amulet. Magar says, I don't think you know what you're doing. And Ricky just slips the amulet on. Ricky is trying to talk, but his mind is cloudy. And he doesn't quite know what to think. Magar is like, Ricky, are you okay? Ricky? Who's Ricky? And all of a sudden, Ricky starts growing about 10 feet tall. And he starts getting these huge muscles and this long red mane down the back of his head. And he turns into this 15-foot tall monster. I'm no longer Ricky. I'm the Kracken! He starts barreling down the street. And the orc is like, I had nothing to do with that. Princess says, listen, we were never here. That never happened. I'm going to give you this leaf from the tree of attenuation, and you are going to forget you ever saw us. And the orc's like, the tree of attenuation? Yes, this leaf will take you home. You want to go home, don't you? Of course I want to go home. And he takes the leaf and he eats it, because that's how you could take him home. She says, and when you're greeted by the man after you wake up, tell him that we know who has the codex, and tell him that we know how to get the codex, and tell him that we also have an heir. And the orc just kind of goes, what? And then poof, he's gone. And Magar's like, what was that all about? Princess says that was one of the 3 leaves that was given to us by Resimor's boss. He told us to keep him informed of any news that we might have. And that's pretty much the end of the section. Only 2 more to go. The question that I have for you is, if you were to claim yourself as a false god, like Dirk did, what would you name yourself? The question that I had yesterday is, have you ever rooted for for an underdog, and how did it go? Now, normally, I don't usually root in competitions. I don't follow sports. I don't follow most politics. So, when it comes to underdogs, they're usually fictional. The closest thing I have is when I was really rooting for Dollhouse to keep on going, and it didn't, because no one was watching. Do not forget that the next book that I will be reading is The Gunslinger by Stephen King. Go out and grab it by any legal means necessary. Borrow it from a friend, borrow it from a library, buy it at a bookstore, buy it on a Kindle. I don't care what you do as long as it's legal and you read it before I ruin it for you. I've been Ellie the Purple-Haired Doofus, reminding you to watch your Pajama Radius. And I will see you all in the next chapters of Bad Unicorn by Platt F. Clark. Toodles!